as a tutor or a teacher, as you may put it, anyone who has finished Form 4 is a champion. Just like in football, we have the UCL or the UEFA Champions League, the most prestigious trophy in club football and club level. Then we have lower trophies or challenges like
domestic cups.
Like the Court Biro, the one that is played in the Islam. I don't know, I've forgotten the name. So that's how after Form 4 Life treats you. That those who got the grades that they wanted, the quality grades. But for me, whoever did Form 1 got his certificate, never cheated, is a champ. Okay, having done all that, maybe I allow my colleague to introduce the topic and delve into this matter. It's all about after you've done Form 4, then what happens?
So, as I said earlier before, we will do into 3 segments. The first segment will be the reality check. Now, KCSE is not the end. Rather, it is the beginning. And your grade, the grade that you're going to score, maybe or you scored after KCSE, is not fatal in any way. In fact, the grade, as I've said earlier on, there's no poor grade after scoring. You just graded maybe, but it doesn't define your future. In fact, your choices and consistency do define your future. Because, for example, Bwana Ontweka,
yes, sir.
If today someone gets a D plus in an exam, KCSE exams, and in fact goes back to school and scores the same D minus, D plus, let's say he scored the first exam D plus, then he goes back to a D plus. Do you think that that one is going to be an up or a down?
See, I'm assuming you were intending to say this guy scored a D plus, and in the second attempt he got a C plane.
Yeah, for example.
According to the grade, in terms of grade movement, point movement, he has made some progress. But does it change? In terms of, does it change? Like whatever he intended or she intended to do after Form 4, does it change? Of course, it is a yes.
It is a yes, because at D plus options are few.
Yes.
But at a C plane, options are now wider, because you now at D plus you are grazing around certificate.
Look at you. Who say that once you score D plus, your opportunities are limited? No. You will answer that in.
Yeah.
Then I'll draw an example from our very own Wajakoya. How many degrees does he have?
Not so sure, but more than one.
Very many. Where did he start from?
At certificate level or diploma? I'm not sure.
Then, my friend, if you are out there and then you got that class, me, I salute you. I know very well you have a quality grade. So what this fellow is supposed to do is just start from the level that grade limits him to, right? If it is deep certificate, yes. If it is diploma, yes. But you don't lose focus on the way. If you intended to end up with a master's, start with your degree, and then with your cert, go to diploma,
then upgrade.
You went up at the level that you want. So that grade that you have does not limit you. Maybe there are some, but for me, all I know, we have the opportunities to rise to the places that
the highest level you can.
Yeah.
So, as my brother said there, life after Form 4 is it's just about discovering your path, passion, and purpose. So, I talk about the 3 P's. The first P is the path. Which path are you going to take after Form 4? Whether it's called an E, which is very rare, a D, a C, a B, or even an A. Then the second P is now the passion. What are you going to, after choosing your path, do you have passion for that path? And finally now the purpose. At the end product of that path that you picked, it will assist you. So all said, that is our first segment. It is it is over. We can go to the next segment that is now exploring the options. Mr. Ontweka, now after Form 4,
Yes.
you try and break to us down which options or how many options that a student has. Like, for example, you talk about those students who scored A's, B's, C's. You talk about B's, which you just have some little charcoal on it. Then is, where do we go, and what are the paths, possible paths? What can they do? Because you just said after Form 4, there's no grade that is not quality grade. It just depends with what you're going to do.
Thank you. According to me, there is a few things that, or there is a notion that people have outside there, that if you do not qualify for the higher level, the tertiary colleges directly, it's like you've lost it. You lose even that touch to the society because they had high expectations. But guys, you have the power to change that. It rests upon your head and your thoughts and the decision making, because that is the sole power in you. So it is you to ignite the fuel. For those in chemistry, we say fuel cannot burn on itself. You need activation energy.
That is ignition.
So the moment I activate that fuel, it starts burning. True. It now releases the high amount of energy that we expected. So until you provide that ignition, that's when you will realize that indeed the fuel that I'm carrying has a very high heating value. True. What do I mean? For those who don't understand chemistry, that you have the power. You have the power to do everything that you ever intended to do, as long as you have support behind you. So it is you to decide. After Form 4, me, I'm not going to major on campus grades and other issues beyond like A's, B's, or C plus, because those are the cutoff points or grades. There is a group,
in fact, a very big group.
The tail
majority, not only but from the middle going down.
Yes, you see, the tail is always very long than the head. That one you should know, and don't confuse the tail. I mean the tail.
True.
Yeah, the tail in quotes.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, these are the people. If we really want this world to change, these are the people we should change, or these are the people we should help. You see, it hurts when you see someone who got a D plus out there, stops schooling, never even tries to go for a technical course, and these guys don't do anything. Charcoal business, from charcoal business, involvement in drugs, from drugs, a drunkard after addiction, depression,
and thereafter
thief.
You know, like when you don't have a job and you are addicted to something, you must just get it. Without it, you cannot survive.
Yes, now those people are the people we lose because they fail to make the right decision. Poor decisions, poor results. So we lose them the moment we don't guide them. So if you are out there and you will never managed to go to university or college, my friend, I respect you more if you just walk to that TVET and decide, me, I just want to do masonry, right? Or I just want to do something in civil engineering, or I do plumbing. Let me ask you, how many buildings in these towns we go to are being put up? Very many of them.
In fact, even as we talk, we have one of the biggest buildings in town that are being put up.
Yes.
But currently,
do we have enough manpower?
I can say, if you go skilled or unskilled. Let's go. Let's categorize. Skilled, not enough.
Yes. So you go there, you realize that they even now start sourcing these workers from other places. It is not wrong because we are in a democratic country. But if you had gone to this tertiary or these TVET institutions and then you keep yourself with a few skills on a certain field, you're already a marketable person. So what do you do? After attaining that certificate on that simple field, get into the forest. Out here, we are in a forest. We are hunting for the jobs. The jobs are there. Hunters are few. Others fear to hunt because they fear dangerous animals. Which are these dangerous animals I'm mentioning? That out there is someone who has experience.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to mention that I'm a plumber. What are those?
You know, just to say, they are
The
like
big boss.
hello. Yeah. So I wanted just to add something on what you said.
Yes.
Personally, I can rate myself as as an above average student. I don't know what about you. Are you a below average student, above average, or an average student?
Now,
When you were in school those days,
now for me, I've always said this.
your rating, your own rating.
Me,
as
I'll never rate myself
Mm.
because what I know, those guys who shaped me up to this level, they knew me. But for me, it is not about above or below.
No, I'm just asking.
Yes.
At this point, you can even find even
No, no,
in
no,
your
no.
own
Let me
class,
ask you.
they are
now.
not at the
No,
same
wait.
level.
Let me ask you this question then.
Mm.
You're asking me whether I'm an average student,
You were.
below average,
You
or
were.
those days.
Those days when you were a student, because even right now, there's a student that when you call, you will teach him electrochemistry. But there's a student that when you call, you will only teach him basics. You cannot be the same in the same class. Even these fingers are not the same.
Okay. What I know, I was an average student. Yes.
An average student.
Yes.
So my question is,
Yes.
if today you are given a chance, maybe because I wanted you to answer that question before my second question comes.
Yes.
You're given a chance maybe to take another course.
Yes.
Which one?
To change.
Mm.
It is not all about the course, one, because that's when the challenge is. The moment we introduce course, that's when we get other people even now start cheating in exams so that they attain a certain cutoff to enter into certain fields. Siku zote kubali kile ambacho Mungu amekupa. Mungu alituumba jinsi vile, kiangalia kiganjani mwangu kuna vidole vitano na havitoshani. Sisi wote ni binadamu, sawa? But hivi vidole jinsi vilivyo ndivyo na wanadamu walivyo kimawazo. Sasa Mungu kama mimi aliniumba niwe mfupi kama hiki kidole kimawazo, sio kwa kimo, kimawazo. Sawa? Najaribu kwa uwezo wangu wote. You understand what I mean? My Swahili is limited. So you do something according to your ability. And then something that comes straight out of your heart, that I want to do this and that. Not something that you are forced to. Let no one force you into a certain field. Please, parents, guardians, and anyone out there, don't force your son, your daughter, your brother, or any learner to enter into a field that they don't want. Otherwise, utakuwa unapaka ule mnyama ule wa mizigo, punda rangi, kazi ambayo ni ngumu zaidi.
Umesema Kiswahili chako ni kidogo.
Najaribu tu, mwalimu wangu
sasa like I wanted us at least to categorize these learners. Definitely, the same way you say these fingers are not of the same.
They are not equal.
Definitely, kuna wale atapata A, atapata B, atapata C, only atapata D. And utapata kuna mwanafunzi mwenye ampata A, but kiangalia grade distribution yake across the subjects and the subject choices will limit them to something.
Yes.
So we mwenyewe, how do you categorize these students and how can you put them in this level, in this level, in this level?
There is something you mentioned that is comes back to the grading, and I think for the last KCSE, that's when they introduced a very funny grading system that someone.
It was, I think it was inception state.
Yeah.
The first.
That you get a student, a student has a B plus, for instance, but you look at the STEM subjects, you wonder, you have a B plus, and then you have a C plain somewhere in these STEM subjects. Then for me, that is a wasted grade, and it won't help you anywhere. So for me, the grades with the kind of grading system that was introduced last year by NEC, for me, I say no.
What are the reasons behind that?
Because
you are against it,
like,
and many people have embraced it, and it is within us.
For those who have embraced it, they want to see numbers being shipped into tertiary colleges. But now the question is this: I have a B plus, and maybe I want to go and do a course that has a certain cluster points, and I don't meet the cutoff cluster points. You know, there is a way we calculate cluster points. If you don't meet the cutoff points in that field, this B plus will not help you.
10 minutes.
Right?
10.
The B plus will not help you. So the grading system, I fault it. For those of us who did KCSE before 2024, you know how grading was done, and you know how cluster points were being calculated, and that method has not changed. So whatever they have done is trying to cheat learners that you have an A minus. You have an A minus, and you want to go and do maybe nothing, but in math you have a C plane, and bio you have a C plane.
Not so possible.
But chemistry you have a B plus. My friend, that is no. I stand to be corrected.
Anyway,
for those who have been enough information out there, but I don't think that that grade helps.
So this is my take anyway.
Yes.
I'll give into 3 categories. The first category, I talk about the TVET institutions, technical and vocational education and training. Like for the TVET institution,
Isaac Opara, my student, how are you?
For the TVET institutions, like we have practical skills,
Yes.
like mechanics, beauty therapy,
Yes.
you have fashion design, ICT,
Yes.
electrical installation, you talked of plumbing and etc. For this, I advise students who can start even from certificate level, and they better them.
Yeah.
You can even be having a deep plan, and you start from there. You take one of the courses, because these courses are skilled. They are hands-on courses. Because for you to do it, in fact, you must engage yourself, because you can even self-employ yourself. Like me, today, in the world we have entered today, I even advise a student to go for TVET course and college courses more than even the university, because not anyone's opinion, but my own opinion. College nowadays is not as prestigious as it was during our times and below.
Yeah.
But you are younger. Maybe during your time, it was just like transiting to high school. It's 100% transition.
No.
But during our time, it was on a competitive basis. Even when they are sending you a message to confirm that you picked a course, they'll tell you on a competitive basis. But nowadays, you go to a cyber, you fill some forms, you go to college. So second ones, like TVETs are affordable, in fact, and they have skill-based. You just learn to earn at TVET level. Then secondly, the second category is colleges. These are ideal for students. I can talk of the average students, like those who wants to take like can I say, teaching at primary level, like we used to call them P1. I don't know the name they're using currently.
Yes.
Then we have hospitality, business, and even social work and community development. That's where it falls. Then my top or the apex of my categories is what you call universities, which we prestigious known as universities, but they're just advanced colleges. So these are for great for students aiming for academic or professional courses like medicine. But medicine you can as well start at college level, then you advance. Medicine, law, engineering, education, just like you have a bachelor degree in education science, and it focuses more on theory. In fact, in the university, it's just about theory and research.
Yeah.
You cannot get, to me, it's like you have some knowledge.
Yeah.
It is being modified at a university level. Then it is good on growing. It makes you make some growth.
Yeah.
So I want you to just beef it up, say something on it. Then you'll finish on the final segment on how people can transit to campus, what they should avoid because you have been a freshman. You have successfully finished your course within 4 years without any problems, no addiction, no suspension, or even a thousand academic days, or even expulsion. You are here as a teacher. What advice can you give to those boys who wants to transit now into campus and colleges? Because right now they are doing admissions. Some have joined, some are yet to join. Maybe they are even following us live. They want to hear from you. What are some of the do's and the don'ts when they are freshmen and as they progress with their academics in
Okay, maybe I add something on whatever you've said, the categorization of your learners according to their grades. I'll repeat and say that you missing on an A doesn't mean that you failed, right?
And you say
whatever grade that you got is what determines it. I mean, whatever grade that you have does not determine your future or your tomorrow in quotes, that is. What matters most is what you are going to do with that grade, right? After that, closed. Now, for those of you who have transitioned from high school to tertiary level colleges, and then we have also the TVETs. Shocks boda na si shock ya pikipiki na si shock ya stima. Shocks left, right, center. Why? You need to be smart. You see, in university, in college, I don't know, I don't have enough information about the teacher training centers. I hear that they are much followed like high school students.
Yeah.
But in university, only a few institutions can do that. So what do I mean? Once you are done with Form 4, it means you have become a responsible fellow. And most of those individuals who go to university, who join university and these other tertiary colleges, they are in the age of around 18. So these are guys who now able to 17,
is 16.
Yeah, who are able to make correct choices, because there will be no parent out there. There will be no sub chief. There will be no deputy academics to follow you up and down. It is upon you. Ni vita kati yako na maisha yako. Maybe I give you a short account about myself. How I moved from Nakuru town, boarded Eldoret Crossroad, nikafika Eldoret town, nikachukuliwa pale KVDA, nikawekwa kwa gari ya chip, nikafikishwa Chepkoilel.
By that time it was how much to check from town?
Achana na transport. Kwa pesa hata yezi nunua mutura. So so my father, wherever he is, my mother prayed for me. It was around 10 a.m. She prayed, they prayed together.
asked the father to escort me to town and ensure that I have boarded a vehicle with all my shopping. Na usisahau, unajua kitu nilikuwa nimebeba mahindi, si unajua ni lazima ugali na si ya duka. Nikapanda gari nikaenda Eldoret, nikachukuliwa nikiwa na pesa cash for school fees, cash in my college bag. You know those designs nowadays, they have phased them out. They were in version those days. So I arrived at Eldoret, a very clean boy, very green, clean slate. So I was picked by a friend, Joe. Naitwa Joshua, kijana wa kutoka pale Molo hivi, wherever huko msewe na kutambua. So akanichukua pale. The following day tuko queue imeload. I went there minus a parent, minus a sister, minus a relative. I just admitted myself with cash money. I entered the queue to the bank. They told me no. At this point, you go to town and deposit. Then we process other things from this point. So you go to town with cash money, walking around with 24,000. Just imagine how rich I was feeling.
But it's not your money.
No. I was very rich.
It wasn't your money.
Yeah, of course I know it wasn't.
Unless you wanted to be a dropout.
But it was in my pocket. So I admitted myself with I paid the school fees. They also sent some rent. We got a room. Started life in campus. So for the 4 years between 2017 September until I graduated on 2022 April, not my sister, not my mother, not my brother, not even a village mate ever stepped in University of Eldoret to try and even know where I come from. Hata ninaishi wapi, ninasoma. Yes. No, I can't lie. I wish they come before the camera and confirm. So nikamaliza hiyo miaka yote high school. Hakuna venye mzazi aliyekuja hata kuitaka kwenye naishi. Bora mimi anitumie fee, anajua mimi fee sitakula. And that's how I finished school. Come graduation, I just went there with my younger brother and my younger sister.
For graduation.
So there is no one who accompanied me even for graduation to go and try and celebrate that this young man has graduated. They never even doubted that this fella might be chewing school fees. He's not even going to class. No. And here I am today. I never got addiction to Congo.
But betting?
Betting,
Talk about
I
betting.
could do it occasionally.
Can you advise a freshman?
But I realized betting is very detrimental.
And I've been telling you not once, not twice. But you're still
nowadays I'm changed.
You have reduced.
No. I don't do it.
Okay, that's good.
So don't do it. So betting to university students, to anyone, not even university. Betting is a crime to your mind, not to the government and the law bodies. No, it is a crime. Why am I calling it a crime? Your guardian or parent send you 200. Kuna kitu inaitwa kuinama wase huko nje, si kuinama kuswali msikitini ama wakati unataka kukoga. Hapana. Si kuinama physically. Kuna formation ya chakula. Inaweza kuwa 001. You miss breakfast, you miss lunch, you get supper. So umeinama hadi mzazi anaamua no, acha nimtumie hizo mbili, maybe ajipange kidogo. My friend, the moment unajaribu kuwekea tu avieta, say
inaenda kwenda.
Mwendi anailamba kama ile tissue ya mwisho kwa roll.
Anaitoa.
Ikienda hakuna nyingine. So when I learned that, nikamwa easy, hii ibambi. mimi nikitumia pesa yangu kwanza naitoa kwa simu juu betting is in the phone. Naitoa kwa simu completely. Alafu mimi si mraibu wa pool. Kuna hizi kadi zinapigwa hapana. Sijui hadi saa hii sijui kucheza pool. Unaona IT yangu jiwaza kushika stick. Before hata niguze hii. Before nilenge nishaharibu. So sijui pool, sijui kadi. So I got out of campus. So betting achana nayo. Nisikia wasee wamejinyonga. Right?
True.
Because of betting.
Not once. Not
Mwanafunzi
twice.
unapewa fee, unaekelea aviation. Within 30 seconds,
Disappear.
depression, ushajipima kilo juu ya mti. Na sasa unajipima nani asome weight yako. Betting tafadhali achana nayo. And then kuna hawa vijana sasa wamefika pale wakaona kwamba hapa sina mzazi, sina kakangu, sina dadangu, sina shangazi ama mjomba ambaye ananifuatilia. Wacha nijaribu pombe kidogo. Wacha nijaribu hivi vitu ambavyo pale shuleni nilikuwa naambiwa kwamba ni vinadhuru. Anza bangi tu. Kaka, dadangu pale ulipo tafadhali. The first sip is as dangerous as the last sip.
In fact, the last one is more dangerous.
No, why did
if you try, don't even
my friend.
There is no last one.
Why,
the first one should be the last
why
one.
blame the last sip?
I am
Who told
blaming
you to try in the first time?
The first one can be out of temptation, but continuing now is the issue.
Bana. Bana, you went to university alone. You understand where you come from. And if the family depends on you, whether it depends on you or not to change the face, that's the facing point or the background, don't indulge in those things if you can't control yourself.
Okay, thank you, Bwana Mteka. Viewers, that's the end of our segment, the last segment on this, the next chapter after KCSE. What next?
Alain Shundu, kuna mtu
Big up
hapa.
Alain. So the answer depends on you as a person, whether it's a civet, a college, or a university. You start from where you are, then you grow slowly. Remember, every grade is just a quality grade, depending on how you view it. Because I've talked about the 3 P's: the path, the passion, and the last P was path, passion, and.
Let me reply to someone before you ask me questions.
Okay, so I was talking about the 3 P: the path, passion, and the purpose. So after you've finished your exam, you just have to remember that you keep on learning, keep on dreaming, until next time you find that one day you are where you want to be, and you keep on moving forward. So we'll be back here with another topic, not so soon, but maybe tomorrow, the same place, same time. It will be okay. So my viewers, thank you. I'm yours, Omondi Ayeko, and
Hey, Alain Scovia, Opara Isaac, jina langu wachane nao kwanza, wewe kijana mdogo.
so
I'm to my student top shooter aka JJ, waambie kwamba nilikuongelesha before uende pale, sitaki kutaja hicho chuo. Wacha niondoke kesho, kama ibada hakuna sadaka na sio kanisa. Nyuma yangu niko na mkuu mkuu askofu bila smile. Bila smile. Alain, unaona master,
hata mimi nikaribisha
sababu niekelee vitu sijui zinatumikanga aje hizi vitu, hata sijui hivi vitu vinatumianga aje. Sema ni wewe vitu tunajua sasa mimi sijazoea kukaa hivi. Sijui zinakuanga aje hizi vitu. Ni wewe hizi vitu zinatumikaje.
Okay.
Wewe ni kijana wa jiografia.
Nyuma ya kamera, Brayo. Wacha nitembee.
Msaidie lapo mvio. Mstikie hiyo hapo tu nyuma yake.
Hapa tu.
Hiyo ni kuna hiyo bodi
ile kwa kona.
Bora tu stick. Hawezi andika. Aha. Unajua inahitaji kunini?
Hiyo ni gauda.
Ilikuwa inahitaji yani kuandikako kidogo hivi. Hapa tuko nyini hapa. Nilikuwa nataka kunini kidogo. Sawa tu. Hivi tu tutakuwa tu creative. Kuna nini? Plain paper huko nje. Plain paper. Nataka tu plain paper kadhaa so that Jana nataka kupiga injili ya map work. Watu wasipopata shauri yao. Askofu mjaza rumba. Kuna watu wako live, kuna shule mahali imeniambia iko live bana. One of the schools, one of the Kirengani Academy. You are a resource person. A resource person now. Chief examiner, geography paper 1.
Wewe vujo.
I go live. Nakuamini. Naniamini kijana. Go live. Let's do it. We think it until we make it.
Askofu unasemaje?
Now. Braiko saa.
Taja jina. Kwani ujijui?
Ngoja producer ba.
Askofu unasikia Esther?
Iko ready?
Iko sawa.
Brayo utaikai staff.
Okay. Good evening team. Viewers. Leo tumerudi tena. Want to read geography. Revision map work. Question number 6, paper 1. Paper 1. Geography paper 1. Map work. Hey. Ondoka. Why misbehaving? Weka. Ziko mbili. Kuna nyingine moja. Bwana. Now. Iko sawa? Now, this evening we want to talk about geography, specifically map work that comes in paper 1, compulsory question, 25 marks. And today I want to talk about what we call latitudinal extent and the longitudinal extents. We'll be using a sample of topographical map of Tambach that you can see the other side. I want to believe you can be able to see it, but we shall be trying to illustrate. Now, when you talk of latitudinal and the longitudinal extents from a map, you need to remember latitudes and longitudes. Latitudes are lines that are drawn on a map to show how far north or south a place is from the equator. That one means that when you want to tell that this is a latitude must be indicated either north or south. decrees, 35 minutes, 35 decrees, 40 minutes, then 35 decrees, 45 minutes east. That is showing that those are what we call longitudes. Now, when you give latitudinal extent, allow me to talk about latitudinal extent. You indicate where the map extract starts in terms of latitudes to where it ends. For this case, if you look at the map of Tambach, we can say that our latitudinal extent is from 35, 0 degrees, 0 degrees, 30 minutes, 0 degrees, 30 minutes, to 0 degrees, 0 degrees, 45 minutes, north. But again, you are also allowed to, as a student, you are also allowed to take, you can also, you are also allowed to give, you are saying as from, we are saying from 0 degrees, 30 degrees north to 0 degrees, 45 degrees. That's where the map is starting. Starting at this point to this point, it will give us what we call the latitudinal extent. If you get the difference between the two, that is, if you take 0 degrees 45 minutes minus 0 degrees 30 minutes, you will get 15 minutes. You can as well write that the latitudinal extent for this map is 15 minutes north. That one also should tell you that this map was extracted from the northern hemisphere. It means Tambaji is the northern what? Degrees 45 minutes, subtract 35 degrees 30 minutes, will come up with what? Will come up with 15 minutes east. That one should also tell you that this map was extracted to the east of the prime meridian or of the Greenwich meridian. Now, one of the viewers just asked a very simple question. Malimu, assume that you are not given the extents from the starting point of the map to the end point. What shall you do? And I want to send you to one of the maps previously done by the candidates, the map of Kitale. If you look at the map of Kitale, allow me to sketch. The map of Kitale was something like this one. I'm assuming that this is my map. Now we discover that here it was 1 degree 00 minutes. Then we had somewhere here 1 degree 5 minutes. Then here we had 1 degree 10 minutes. Then we were not given something here. And remember, when we are giving the vertical, when we are giving the extent, we give from this point to this point. Now, what is the latitudinal extent for that case? It means we need to get this one first. Now, how do you get the degrees or the latitude at this point, you require to do some small calculations. Number one, measure the distance between two given consecutive latitudes. When I talk of two consecutive given latitudes, I'm talking about this latitude 1 degree, 0 minutes, and 1 degree, 5 minutes. Or I'm talking about 1 degree, 5 minutes, and 1 degree, 10 minutes. Measure that distance in between them. You discover that if you measure either at this point or at this point, the distance is the same. For my case, I tried to measure, and I found that it was 18.5 centimeters. Then ask yourself, between those consecutive latitudes, what is the difference in terms of degrees or minutes? If you take, for example, 1 degree and 5 minutes minus 1 degree and 0 minutes, you get 5 minutes. If you take 1 degree and 10 minutes and you subtract 1 degree and 5 minutes, you will still get 5 minutes. Therefore, it means a distance of 18.5 centimeters is equivalent to 5 minutes. You need to have that one at the back of your mind. Then you measure the distance from this point that we are looking for east latitude to this latitude that was given. Now for this case, it was 1 degree, 10 minutes. Measure that distance in centimeters. You discover that that distance will get it to be, for my case, it was 8 centimeters. You can do it wherever you are and see if it's 8 centimeters. Then you ask yourself, if 18.5 centimeters is given to 5 minutes, how about 8 centimeters? So simple or basic mathematics, we just take 8 divided by 18.5 times 5 times 5, whereby you get something like 2 point something minutes. But always remember to round off these minutes to the nearest whole number. Therefore, for this case, I will get 2 minutes. Now, when you observe the trend, we are moving from downwards, up. We are moving upwards. We started from 1 degree, 0 minutes. We move to 1 degree, 5 minutes. We move to 1 degree, 10 minutes. Now we expect that this one automatically is above this one. Therefore, to get the value here, you take the last latitude, which was 1 degree, 10 minutes, then you add on the 2 minutes. So that at this point, we shall get it to be 1 degree and 12 minutes. Therefore, this case, we shall say that our latitudinal extent for the map of Kitale was or is 1 degree, 00 minutes to 1 degree, 12 minutes. Was it to the east or to the west, or north or south? Remember, it's a latitudinal. Latitude will be either in north or south. According to the map, it was to the north. I also repeat that this map was extracted from the northern hemisphere. You can also say that if you take 1 degree and 12 minutes, subtract 1 degree and 00 minutes, you get 12 minutes. You can as well also write that the latitudinal extent was 12 minutes east. I want to believe we are together at that point. Number 2 thing that I want to talk about briefly is about calculating of gradients on a topographical map. Gradients. Basically, when you talk about calculation of gradients on a map, gradients is given by vertical rise over horizontal equivalent. Vertical rise over horizontal equivalent. Now, when I talk of vertical rise, how do you get the vertical rise? Always you'll be given 2 points. For example, they may say that find the gradient between point A and B. Now it means you get the height at point A, you get the height at point B. How do we get the heights? There are several ways we can use to get heights on a topographical map. One, we can use contours. You look at the contours. For example, if you are talking about point A, you go and check at point A. What are the contours there? What are the height at that point? You can also use trigonometrical stations. You can also use what we call spot heights. Now, allow me to give an example. For those who are having the map of Tambach, I want us to get the gradient from grid reference 029739. Grid reference 029739. I selected that point specifically because there was a contour that was passing at that point. And the height at that point is 1,400 meters. So the height at that point is 1,400 meters above sea level. And want to get the gradient up to the point of grid reference 05 to a point to a trigonometrical station at grid square 0575. If you check at grid square 0575, there's a trigonometrical station. And the height of that trigonometrical station, if you check, it is 1,745 meters above sea level. Now, allow me to assume that those are my 2 points. That is point A and point B. Now, my point A is 1,400 meters above sea level. Then my point B is 1,745 meters above sea level. That's the point that I've selected, though I used the grid reference system. Now I want to find the gradients between the 2 points. What's the vertical rise? Vertical rise is simply you get a difference between the highest point and the lowest point. For this case, that is vertical rise shall be given by 1745 minus 1400, whereby I should be able to get a student like Nyongeza David can tell me what's the difference between 1745 and 1400. You are a very good student, I see. You are very fast in giving answers. You discover that it's equivalent to 3. Discover that you get 345. Nyongeza? 345 meters. That's 345 meters. Now, the challenge has been when it comes to horizontal equivalent, when it comes to students. How do you get the horizontal equivalent? Simply measure the distance between the 2 given points using your ruler, the ruler that you are having, which is given in centimeters. Measure that distance. For my case, when I measure that distance, I get it to be 7.5 centimeters. Now, you discover that our vertical rise is in meters, but the distance, horizontal equivalent in centimeters. We need to change this distance into meters. And the mistake that we make is that we use conversion tables, which is very wrong. At this stage, we convert using the scale of the map. My scale of the map is 1 to 50,000. 1 to 50,000. This one means that 1 centimeter on paper, that's on the map, represents 50,000 centimeters on the ground. So you change these 50 centimeters into meters. So you discover that 1 centimeter can represent 500 meters. Now you ask yourself, you have a length of 7.5 centimeters, and 1 centimeter is representing 500 meters. What is that length, 7.5 centimeters, in meters now on the ground? You'll take 7.5, you multiply by 500, and you'll get 3,750 meters. It means that our horizontal equivalent is 3,750 meters. Now, from that point, we can get our gradients. Our gradient shall be the vertical rise divided by horizontal equivalent, which shall be equivalent to 345 divided by 3,750. You get 0 point something, 0.092. That is the gradient between those 2 points. Allow me to talk about grid reference system. Grid reference system. And remember, when you talk about grid reference system, so many questions in map work shall talk about, you may ask, for example, they may are talking about distance, measure the distance from this point to this point. They may say, for example, measure the distance from a point at grid reference this to this point. When you are talking about reduction and enlargement, they may ask, they may give you an area to reduce or to enlarge using grid reference. So it's also good to understand how to get the grid reference. Now, grid reference, first of all, you need to understand that on a topographical map, we have what we call grid lines. And you say that the lines that are running from north to south, we call them eastings. For this case, the first easting on our map of Tambach, the first easting was labeled as number 78. Our last easting was number 06. Those are known as eastings because you are moving towards the east. Then you have the horizontal lines. These horizontal lines, we call them northings. From our map, the first northing is around 50 something. But the one that we can see is 56. Then we go to 57 until the last one, which is 83. If you understand the easting and the northing, you are good to go. When we give a grid reference, we start by stating the easting, followed by the northing. And remember, we don't use commas or full stops. We write is a one number. Now, we have 2 types of grid reference. We have what we call 4-figure grid reference. 4-figure grid reference. 4-figure grid reference is given using 4 digits. And I can say that it is not specific. It is general. Take as now, I'm having my eastings and northings here, whereby this is 10, this is 11, this is 12, this is 01, this is 02, this is 03. I want to get the grid reference of that point, 4-figure. You take the easting just before that point. Take the easting just before that point. Now, for this case, the easting before that point is 10. So you write 10. That's the easting. Followed by the northing just before that point, which is 0, 1. 0, 1. So this point P, the grid reference is 1, 0, 0, 1. We don't use commas or we don't use full stops. Take us now whereby I get another point, the same square, R. You discover that the grid reference shall be the same. That's why I'm saying that when you talk of 4-figure grid reference, it is not specific, but it is general. Unless if the point is appearing at a point where an easting and a northing are meeting. For example, at such kind of a point where easting 11 is meeting northing 0, 1. That's maybe you can say is specific, but the others, they are not specific. It is general. 6-figure grid reference. 6-figure grid reference. Now, how do we get 6-figure grid reference? For you to come up with 6-figure grid reference, first of all, identify the points in which you are looking for its grid reference. Look for that point. Where is it found from your topographical map? After identifying the point where is found on a map, then the next thing you do, you find the grid square or the grid reference representing that square. For example, if this is my grid like that, this is 10, this is 11, this is 81, this is 82. I want to locate a point here, P. So first of all, identify the point is P. I've identified it. Then get the grid reference for this square. We say that's in terms of 4 figure. Discover that first easting, the easting before that point is 10, and the northing before that point is 81. So the grid reference for that square is 10, 81. Then subdivide this square into 10 equal parts. Into 10 equal parts. This is what you do. Like that. Into 10 equal parts. Vertically and horizontally. Vertically and horizontally. I always advise students that for you to do it accurately, just fold a sheet of paper to make its edge very sharp. Then on that sheet of paper, mark a point, which I'm calling as the starting point. Then you go to your map. On the map, there's a scale, linear scale down there, that's written meters, and the other side is written kilometers. Now, on that map, on that linear scale, there's something like this one. You have 0, then to the kilometer side is given in kilometers, 0, 1, 2, 3, ikienda hivyo. Then the other side you have 0, then you have You have 0, then you have 1,000 this side, but this side they have written meters. Simply they are saying that 1,000 meters is the same as 1 kilometer. Now from 0 to the left, they are giving the scale in meters. Then from 0 to the right, they are giving in kilometers. From 0 to the right is known as primary scale. From 0 to 1,000 meters is known as secondary scale. So I'm talking about this secondary scale. From 0 towards 1,000, that's written in meters. Discover that it's subdivided into some parts, and the parts are 10. So you just lift your sheet of paper, then you place on that scale from 1,000 to 0. Then you calibrate your sheet of paper. It will give you 10 equal parts, and you will use those parts to subdivide your grid square vertically and horizontally. So discover that if your grid square is like this one, then it means that this is 10.0, 10.1, 10.2, 10.3. But you say that you don't use commas or decimals. So you just call it 10.0, 10.1, 10.2, like that. Discover that P on the easting shall be found on 10, for example, 3. Then on a northing shall be found on 81, 6. Then we say that the grid reference, the 6-figure grid reference, shall be 103816. You must be very keen because you can't miss to meet a question either directly related to grid reference or allowing you or asking you to apply the grid reference. Majamaa, kati wa kulala umefika, kati wa kula umefika. Allow me to stop there. Tomorrow we meet same place, same thing, different vibe, different content, different clothes. Asanteni sana. Producer Kasafi. Ziko sawa? Serious? Umekata? Haja umekuangalia hapo kwa page yangu. Ilikuwa sawa? Iko vipi?
Na slow kidogo lakini
iko sawa. Iko watu wengi wamekuwa bana. Watu wengi wamekuwa, angalia. Watu wamekuwa bwana. Ish. Hii tutasumbua, hii kitu tutasumbua.
Hata mimi nitaweka nitafunga.
Unaona tu ka comment tu kazuri unakuja hapo unapiga. Kesho utapata offer ba. Mbona unaweza za comments? Ina nini? Nitakuwa hii. Kutenda nionyesha ma comments chap chap.